Hi, and welcome to the Nintendo Newswire. This week we'll be recapping the events of Nintendo's E3 2014 and taking a look at the awesome games they showed off there. Now, let's get started. Starting off the week for Nintendo's E3 presentation, we learned of a brand new fighter for the new Super Smash Bros. Games for Wii U and 3DS, and this fighter was the Mii Fighter. Along with the reveal of the Mii Fighter, we learned that they will also come in 3 different varieties. One being the Mii Brawler, who's more focused in hand-to-hand combat, the Mii Sword Fighter, who's more focused on using the sword, and finally the Mii Gunner, who uses a blaster for most of its attacks. Along with the reveal of the 3 Mii Fighters, we also learned that their attacks would be customizable, with 3 classes of Mii Fighters, with 12 special attacks each. That gives you a chance of 36 total specials you can use for these Mii Fighter characters. Finally, in Super Smash Bros. News, we learned that the 3DS version of the game will be releasing on October 3rd to the dismay of many people, with a release date of Holiday 2014 for the Wii U version of Super Smash Bros. Next up, we learned about something brand new from Nintendo that's also related to the Super Smash Bros. Franchise, and that was the Amiibo figures. Similar to that of the Skylanders and Disney Infinity figures, Nintendo's Amiibos allow your characters to be completely customizable and allows you to store your data of these characters on the figures itself. The games that are compatible with these Amiibo figures include the brand new Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, which will be launching first with the first few waves of Amiibo figures, and, as announced by Nintendo, it will also be able to be used in Mario Kart 8. The Amiibo figures are planning to be released alongside Super Smash Bros. Wii U this holiday season and early next year for Nintendo 3DS systems. Next up, we finally learned about some new information about the long-awaited Yarn Yoshi, now renamed Yoshi's Woolly World. Yoshi's Woolly World is a platform game in which the player assumes the role of Yoshi. Similar to Goodfield's previous title, Kirby's Epic Yarn, the game is set in a world where characters and environments are composed of yarn and cloth. Yoshi retains much of his moveset from the Yoshi's Island series of games, which includes his tongue to swallow enemies and using his flutter jump to reach hard areas, and many elements such as flowers and mystery clouds return as well. However, unlike other games where swallowing enemies would produce eggs which Yoshi could throw, Yoshi instead produces balls of yarn. These yarn balls have various uses when thrown, such as tying up fearsome enemies or filling in certain platforms and objects. Players can also gather white chicks which produce temporary cloud platforms when thrown. The game also supports up to 2 players cooperatively, with players being able to swallow and throw their partners, allowing them to reach otherwise inaccessible areas. The game also supports the brand new announced Amiibo figures as well, which information is kind of sparse right now since we don't know what exactly the functionality of the Amiibo figures is in the game. This game is set to release in the first half of 2015. The next game we learned about stars everyone's favorite Toad adventurer, Captain Toad, in Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker builds upon the Captain Toad levels first introduced in Super Mario 3D World. In the game, players control Captain Toad, who must safely navigate across various levels in order to reach a star at the end of each. Captain Toad is unable to jump, but is able to pull out roots which reveal either coins or turnips that can be thrown at enemies, as well as sprint in a dash. Players can manipulate the camera to view around the level, which can reveal hidden areas containing bonus gems. The game makes use of the Wii U gamepad's features, as the players can touch the screen to manipulate platforms, as well as use gyroscopic controls to aim turnips whilst riding minecarts. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is set to release in the holidays of this year. Next up, we learned about new information for the brand new Legend of Zelda game for Wii U. While not much information was revealed at E3 from Eiji Aonuma, we learned that the next Zelda game will definitely stray away from the normal Zelda formula and be completely open world. In a trailer showed by Aonuma, he showed off the world of what looks like Hyrule Field. He pointed to some mountains as well, saying you will be able to ride all the way towards those mountains in this vast open world as well. In the trailer, it also showed off some of the big destruction that can happen during battles with massive bosses like shown in the trailer. Not much is known about Legend of Zelda for Wii U, but we know that it will be releasing sometime in 2015. Next up, we learned about some new information about the brand new Pokemon remake games, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. In this trailer, for the first time, we saw brand new gameplay footage of the actual game, including the player models for both the female and male trainers Brendan and May, and the brand new looks for Team Aqua and Team Magma. Along with this, we learned about some brand new Mega Evolutions, including Mega Evolutions for Sceptile, Swampert, and Diancie. Finally, with this, we also learned about the brand new forms of Kyogre and Groudon. We learned that they are not Mega Evolutions and just form changes, and according to the trailer, they are called Primo Kyogre and Primo Groudon. The game is set to release November 21st, 2014. Next up, Platinum Games released a brand new gameplay trailer of Bayonetta 2. Not much has really changed since the last time we saw it at E3, but at the end of the trailer, we learned that Bayonetta, the original Bayonetta, will be releasing alongside Bayonetta 2 as a free pack-in for the game, so people can play the original alongside the first. Included with the original Bayonetta is brand new downloadable costumes for Bayonetta as well in the first game. Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2 are set to release on the Wii U October of this year. Next up, we learned about some brand new characters being playable in the Tecmo Koei and Nintendo collaboration, Hyrule Warriors. While we already know about Link and Impa being playable in the games, we finally learned today that Princess Zelda of Hyrule will be playable in the games as well. And as well, the Twilight Princess herself, Midna, will also be playable in the games as well. At the end of the trailer, though, it was hinted at that Ganondorf, the Prince of Darkness, will be playable as well. Hyrule Warriors is set to release on September 26, 2014. Next up, we learned about a brand new game in the Kirby Canvas Curse series, and that game is Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. Kirby and the Rainbow Curse carries on the style of gameplay from Canvas Curse, presenting the game with a unique molding clay look. Players use the gamepad to help Kirby, who is stuck in a ball form, move across the level by drawing rainbow-colored lines on the touchscreen to guide him. Making Kirby going through loops will speed him up, whilst touching him will put him into a spinning attack to use against enemies. Kirby can gain various forms throughout the game, such as a submarine, a rocket, and a tank. Kirby and the Rainbow Curse is scheduled to be published by Nintendo in 2015. Next up, we finally learned some brand new information about the brand new game X, or as it's known as Xenoblade Chronicles X. In a similar fashion to the original, the game plays as an open-world role-playing game with an emphasis on exploration. Traveling can take place on foot or in large humanoid robots, Mega, approximately 4 times the size of an average playable character called dolls, that the player may opt to control. The dolls have the ability to fly, traverse water, and transform into vehicles such as motorcycles or tanks. Aerial battles will also take place in the game. The game's battle system will play similarly to the battle system found in the original game with some refinements. The game is scheduled to release in 2015 in Japan, North America, Europe, and Australia. Next up, another brand new game was unveiled during the Nintendo E3 Direct, and that game is Mario Maker, a side-scroller platform game creating application. The game originally was conceived as a tool by Nintendo's internal development team to be used within the company. The team, however, quickly realized the tool's potential as a game and pitched the idea to senior game designer Takashi Tezuka. Meanwhile, Tezuka had been wanting to make the Wii U follow-up to Mario Paint that uses the Wii U gamepad. Upon seeing the Mario Maker tool, however, Tezuka realized that the level-making tool was more marketable than a mere drawing program. Well, during its initial unveiling at E3 2014, the original Super Mario Bros. 8-bit NES graphics and new Super Mario Bros. U styles of HD graphics were only shown. However, Nintendo plans to have more visual styles included even from non-Mario games. The application is scheduled for release in 2015. Next up, another brand new game was revealed at E3 2014, and that game is Splatoon from the creators of Animal Crossing. Splatoon is a team-based third-person shooter which is playable by up to 8 players in 4 vs 4 matches, lasting 3 minutes each. Players control characters known as Inklings, who have the ability to change between human and squid forms. In human form, Inklings are able to shoot colored ink across the game environment, with players' goals being to have the most territory ink in their team's color before the match ends. Transforming into a squid allows players to swim through ink of their own color, even up walls and through grates, hiding from the enemy and replenishing their ink supply in the process. Conversely, enemy ink is much slower to move across in human form. Players can use their ink to try and splatter their opponents, which will send them back to their team's respawn point, whilst also proving providing a large splatter of ink. Players can use the Wii U gamepad to view a map of the surroundings and instantly launch towards the location of another teammate, as well as use gyroscopic controls to aim with assisting. Along with the standard ink gun, special weapons with limited ammo can be attained, such as a paint roller, a bazooka, grenades, and a sniper rifle. The game is scheduled to release in 2015. Finally, for this Nintendo E3 Direct, in a surprise announcement, it was announced that Palutena will be joining the battle for Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS. Yes, that's right, the Goddess of Light has decided to grace us with her presence, and we'll be able to fight as her in Super Smash Bros. For 3DS in October of 2014, and Super Smash Bros. For Wii U in the holiday of 2014. Next up, on a live stream on Nintendo's YouTube channel, Shigeru Miyamoto, creator of such games as Super Mario Bros. And The Legend of Zelda, showed off two brand new projects he has that utilize the Wii U's gamepad controller. These two projects are Project Giant Robot and Project Guard. In Project Giant Robot, you can design your own massive robot, then jump into the cockpit to do battle against massive opponents. Your objective is simple though: topple your opponent before you get toppled yourself. In Project Guard, you must use the Wii U gamepad to mount a dozen security cameras around a perimeter and defend it against a robot army invasion. As the robot army approaches, shoot at the attackers using the gamepad and TV in tandem, while observers watching the TV shout frantic suggestions about which camera offers the best look to target invaders. Along with these two announcements of these brand new games from Shigeru Miyamoto, Miyamoto also announced that he is working on a brand new Star Fox game for Wii U. While not much is known about the brand new Star Fox game, we do know that development is going smoothly on these titles, and we should be able to have them in our hands by next year. And finally, for this recap of Nintendo's E3 2014, in a Smash Bros. Roundtable by Masahiro Sakurai, it was revealed that a brand new playable character will be entering the battle along with the newly revealed Mii Fighters and Palutena, the Goddess of Light. And this character has been known by many gamers for years. This character made his debut in 1980, and many gamers know him by his name, Pac-Man. That's right, the dot-chomping, ghost-hunting Pac-Man has joined the battle. Along with this reveal of Pac-Man joining the battle, a returning veteran was also revealed at the end of the trailer. And that veteran is Mr. Game & Watch from the Game & Watch games released by Nintendo in 1980. As said earlier in the video, Super Smash Bros. For 3DS will be releasing in October of 2014, and for the Wii U in holiday of this year. And with that, I think that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Nintendo Newswire. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been fun recapping the entire events of Nintendo's E3. And I think I did a pretty good job, if I don't say so myself. Remember guys, join me this Thursday for a brand new Nintendo download. Thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye.